It's just ridiculous like that. Wow. I'm stuck like this, guys. Wow. When did that happen? Well, ain't I can do about that. We out here now. You gonna have to rotate your phone or something. Well, it's 12 o'clock, so hopefully you at lunch. Hopefully you can hear me. Anyway, we back to our regular BS in the car on our lunch break, chopping it up, talking about the messy world we live in. I didn't cross out some of the things I did last time. Nor did I even upload the video now that I think about it. I think I forgot. Because you gotta do like editing and stuff, so it got kind of weird. So thank you, YouTube, for being prejudiced. No one ever talks about that because, the YouTube gods be all in their feelings. Anyway, I don't know, I think I did cross them off. Except for the Dunkin' Donut one. Let's just reiterate. Dunkin' Donuts, they suck. Okay? Sarcasm. That's what the shirt says. Dunkin' Donuts sucks. Let's cross it out this time. Because they raised their prices due to inflation. Um, the whole find out your status in a relationship thing, that was kind of a flop. Nobody really cared. I think no one ultimately cares to even ask that question. So that was a waste of a question. Sorry about that. Won't do that again. Something about needing friends. Another thing about look for the pros and the cons of a situation. That was pretty good. Um, Companies robbing you as the inflation thing continues. Companies are trying to cut back, so you know that we're about to take a long L, the longest L. That's what she said. Ever, and something about all accounts being robots, which I think is still a thing, but it's a theory. Tis a theory, my friend. Tis a theory. With that said, moving on, we're going to be talking about a school drivers mean because they seem to get their way on the roads. It's kind of unfair, and I just don't like it. That's it, you know. And the tickets that you get for passing. Now I get it. Okay, I'm not saying that the law is wrong. I'm just saying that the severity, if nothing happens, isn't weighed correctly. So take that as you want it. But I'm not saying that you shouldn't be held accountable for passing. But some of these bus drivers do abuse their power. I've mentioned this before in passing passively, just in other type of videos. But they do take their because sometimes they're dropping off like adults in front of their home, and I guess every time the bus stops, they should deactivate that. Because if they're just dropping off like a coworker that got like enough sense to know how to cross the street, they're dropping off a coworker or something like that. There's no need to stop traffic. That is absolutely unnecessary. Another thing that I don't like about the buses is the fact that some of them have cameras. Because, well, okay, they have cameras and they have like police officers that just wait for you to try to pass a bus at key spots where children like I guess have to get on it. That's not fair. I think it's a setup, and sometimes these buses they put their yellow light on like a mile. So sometimes you're driving next to them and you don't even catch it because sometimes you're just driving next to them and then the light goes on and then you're driving and then when they go red, I guess the police officers or the camera thinks that you should just like come to a complete stop at the same time. That's dumb. So bus drivers, I mean, man, they know what they're doing. I think they do it on purpose just so they could check you. We're just gonna turn that light on and mess up your whole day. Really, you're running late. Cool, cool, cool. The cops are gonna get you. Oh, you have limited funds. Cool. That ticket gonna be in the mail. Holler at it when it comes. Right. Okay, the next thing I want to share with you, that's on my mind is the prices are rising too fast. Now I'm all with inflation and everything because I think some people deserve it. Not me, but some people. But at the rate that this inflation is going, I think that it's a bit racist to be honest with you because Lord knows I can't afford it, and I happen to be black, so I'm not sitting here trying to pull a race card, but we need to bring them prices back down. They're going up. They're going up a little bit too quick. All right, I can't afford it. My wallet can't afford it. Everything's raising. Dumb things, things you don't even think about. Ammo. They rose the prices of ammo. I think no one bought it. I think they just literally stopped making it. So now I couldn't go to a Bass Pro Shop to find 193, which is well, I could find 193 bulk, but the price is outrageous. I mean, we're talking about me being poor right now, so yeah, prices are raising way too fast for me. I can't deal with that. The next thing that I want to share with you guys that's been on my mind is do you have a retirement plan? Now, if you're watching this video, you're probably old anyway, so I think it's about time that you start thinking about your future and your investments. Have you ever considered trying this program? No, I'm kidding. But look, we need to understand that being homeless, you know, only in California it's a choice. Anywhere else, it's a struggle. So I don't know who needs to hear this, but you need a retirement plan, and you need to figure it out right about now. Like, what you gonna are you gonna have children? What are you gonna do when you retire? Are you gonna travel? How much money it costs? With the now that based off of the previous statement I just made about inflation, you really got to think: can you afford to retire? Like that's another question that we should probably ask ourselves. You know, all of you who are watching this video, like, what is your plan for retirement? Are you going to travel? Because not anymore. I I highly doubt. Majority of people who thought they were going to be traveling because they're retiring from some of these government jobs and they're going to get a nice $3,000 a month. And this ain't like the cowboy days, man. This ain't like the '60s. That $3,000 is probably going to only pay like your mortgage, unless you pay off your house. And then by the time you're able to enjoy that money, you're probably going to be dead. So I'm just not trying to be negative. You're probably going to live a long life, but you're not going to really be capable of doing a lot of things that you can do that you think you can do now because you got that healthy mindset. So I'm just it's on my mind really. It's a concern of mine. You don't have to worry about it. But if it applies to you, it applies to you. If it don't, then don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So I'm gonna cross that out. I think we covered enough of that. Normally these things tend to go too long, so I'm trying to cut it real short for you guys. Um, hmm. If you are alone and in a relationship, are you single? It's like a brain twister, right? Like if I'm alone, but I'm in a relationship, are you single? Yes. So next subject. Is it cool to be weird with your partner? Like, not like creepy serial killer or like, you know, oh, these birds are big. Or like, like not nothing crazy that's damaging or gonna hurt someone emotionally, physically, um, financially, nothing like that. I'm just talking about like weird, like quirks. Is it okay as long as you're in a like a qualifying relationship? Like I know some people like to I don't know, smell feet and do weird things, but if you're in a relationship, is that okay? Is that cool? Should your partner be like creeped out? Yes. Because you don't want anyone just doing that. Now, you might give them a pass because, there's a certain level of intimacy there. But wait, I meant, is, how can I say this? It's not cool to be weird, but I guess you can be weird. It depends on your relationship. How about that? Yeah, yeah, why not? Why not? This is not too weird. It's like, that's not too freaky because it's like, then you're losing people, all right? And you can't just that's not a transferable skill when it comes to relationships because you never know what you're going to get. So you can't say, like, okay, I got this weird thing that I do and transfer it to another relationship and then think it's going to work because it might not be received the same way it was received in the previous relationship. I don't know if this advice helps someone out there, but if it do, you're welcome. It's okay to be weird, but and don't just like drop it like a sack of potatoes on someone. You kind of want to ease in on it, like not like this, but like like a system, like a plan. Think it out. Think it out. You'd be surprised how a well planned, weird, like fetish you got can work out if you like introduce it correctly. If you come out just like a raging bull, it's gonna backfire hard. How do I know? I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really know because I'm typically too normal to have anything weird going on. But it was something that was brought up to my attention because I had the answer. See, I know if you're direct. See, that's the whole point of this live too. It's like we need to be more direct when we communicate because sometimes you say too much and then you kind of got to feel it out in the middle of the conversation and it gets really weird too because then you just sound like a creep. So we're gonna cross that out. We're all done with that. Is it cool to be weird with your partner? Sure, it depends on the partner and if it's the skill is transferable. Don't just spring it on other people. That's not cool. Um, Another question I have to is how much working you think is too much? Me, if you work for anyone, you're doing the most. Even if you love your job, you're just doing the most. Now, granted, I get there are people out there that feel comfortable working for folks. There's nothing wrong with that. Um, but sometimes you lose like track of reality, and sometimes you live for your job, and then when like you quit or you get fired, you're like or you retire. You're kind of in a daze of what's going on, and it's hard for you to like acclimate to like the regular world. So um, most jobs, not all, most jobs, you work too much, really, because you kind of overwork because you kind of want to keep your job, and even if you're not getting the pay that you deserve, you don't want to kind of bring it up because you don't want to get fired or you don't want to have any type of resentment between you and your employer or your coworkers, and you kind of got to think up and down, really, on how your situation kind of moves you within the space of the community you like the job you're at, really, because then people who are your coworkers could be jealous and they can make your life really difficult. So how do we answer that question? If you go over the 40 hours, you're probably working too much. If your work to life balance is kind of crazy, and this includes like travel. Like if you have to travel to work and it's 2 hours, so it's a 4 hour total trip, 2 hours each way, and then you work for like 8 hours, and then you don't really have that kind of flexibility. So I know some jobs give you like what they think is the standard amount of vacation and I guess quality time. I don't know what they call it. It's been a long time, guys. I take all that into consideration. But for the most part, most people that I know that work, they always complain about their work to life ratio and how much it's like imbalanced. So it's safe to say that that is a average that most people don't have a good work to life balance. And over 40 hours is probably working too much. If you're working for someone, if you're working for yourself, you could kind of adjust that accordingly. So I say over 40 hours. I'm gonna write that down so I remember. I'm gonna ask this question again just because. Um, Yeah. The next thing I want to say is just a statement. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you need to drink water. Severe dehydration can happen in the middle of winter, in summer, anytime. Drink water, stay healthy, stay alive. At the end of the day, the only thing your cells really need, I mean, they need food, don't get me wrong, but the water is more important than the food because that's how that's how they function. They're like 90% water. So drink some water, get your mind right, get your life right, keep it moving. Next question that I've been thinking about for the last couple of days, really just the last 2 days, but well, that's still a couple. Should you join a gym? I'm gonna say yes. I haven't joined the gym yet, but I will join the gym because working out at home. I mean, if you unless you have a gym in your home, then that's a different story. Or you don't have children, that's also a different story. But I think that seeing other people work out kind of encourages you to work out. And if you know you lack the motivation to do things like go and run around your block, running like 15 miles, if you genuinely don't have like a healthy lifestyle, going to the gym might help you. Now, you can ease into that too. You don't have to join the most expensive gym, nor do you even have to join the gym at all. You can get some equipment and work out at home. But like I said, sometimes I think seeing other people work out helps motivate you to be a better person, and that's kind of like a criteria that I set for that. You know your level, and if you're really not into working out, joining gyms can be motivation for you. At home, there's just too many things that can tell you that, like your sofa's at home, your TV is at home, your kitchen's at home. Things you can distract yourself really easily at home. So if you know you are weak with the motivation to work out, yeah, I think joining the gym is actually a great idea. Take advantage of it. Don't join like the gym for like 3 years though, because if the gym offers you like a year package or whatever they do, if they still do stuff like that, that's the only time I'll be like, don't even waste your time. If it's a monthly thing, at least you could try it out for a month or so. And they give you like a week trial, but the be honest with you, the week trials are weak. Only because like you don't really like you could be hyped for a week and then like the second week you're just over it. Excuse me. But yeah, I think you should join the gym. Depend on your level of, but it really does depend on how much enthusiasm you have for working out. If you don't have any, yes. If you do, you can probably work out from home. That's fine, no problem. But taking into consideration too, sometimes working at home can backfire because I know a lot of people want to get their health right and all this stuff like that. But let's say you got like a partner at home and you got like relationship issues and then you're working out, that might not translate well because if you don't deal with the issues that you had before that, working on your health or your body might create more animosity between you just because it doesn't look good. I know it don't make any sense, but it just doesn't look good. So in order to work out at home, I think people who normally do stuff like that got a lot of things in order. Some people don't because they're doing it just because they have nothing else to do. But if you're in a relationship and you got issues, you might want to work that out so that you can help like do it competently. You know. Anyway, we got about three more bullets I want to get to because my time is very short here. I don't know. Someone out there needs to hear this. Don't overfill your trash cans or bins because that's disgusting. And have some you know consideration for your neighbors. When you do things like that, you get the trash. It comes through and it like fills up. It goes over animals. Wild animals come in there, and they basically just like take the trash and carry it to your neighbor's lawn. If it sounds like I'm speaking from experience. Um, Not that I overfill my trash bins, but I put food in the bin and things that don't have any type of scent, like papers, you put that to the side. You don't put food to the side because animals will get into it and they will spread that garbage. That's just how it is. And who's gonna clean that up? If you're into like crab legs or pork and like your neighbors don't eat pork and they gotta touch your nasty food, I think that's just like not neighborly of you. So on their behalf, and you can tell this to your friends or send or share it with someone. Just this part. I don't know what time it is. The 17:24. Um, be responsible with your trash. Put it in a bin. Don't put food at the side of your bin to sit overnight so that the animals can have a whole party on your lawn. And then the next day, you get corn and crab everywhere and chips. And then who's gonna clean that up? Ain't gonna be the neighbor. Ain't gonna be me. I just sweep it right back on their property. Hey, don't judge me. Hmm. What do you think we should do with that truck? Anyway, that was just a public like announcement. Last two on that same note. How? Hold on a second. How close should you be to your neighbor? Me, I would prefer about a mile of separation, but this is just I don't have an answer. I don't have an. It depends on your neighbors really, but for the most part, I'm just gonna assume that even a neighbor that's a mile away is still a good neighbor. You can still be cordial. So I live down the block. Whoop de woo, this, that, the fifth, and then y'all keep it moving. But I'll say a mile, man. I really, as I get older, maybe it's like like as you get older thing. You just don't want to really be in your living space. You kind of don't want to be around people that's not your family, or sometimes even your family. But you really don't want to be around like strangers because there's just too many different. I think you need a gym. Sorry. Sometimes working out at home just looks too lame. People always judging you, saying, "Oh, why are you working on your physical appearance? You're shallow." That might be true, but I don't want to hear it. Go to the gym, everyone's shallow, so you're all good. Um, but not everyone's shallow when they go to the gym. I'm just saying, like, they care. They care as much as you do, or if not more, maybe a little bit less. But neighbors should be pretty far, actually. I don't really care about neighbors being close to me. It doesn't mean I'm not a social person. I just don't want to know my neighbor's problems. Wow. I don't think it works like that. And if you have an IKEA sofa, you probably can't even touch it. It'll just break apart. Sorry, IKEA, but you suck. Okay? Just gonna put that out there. The quality of furniture from IKEA has dropped tremendously. They're not childproof. That much is true, but tremendously. Terribly, terribly disappointed in them. All right, let's wrap this up because I said 30 minutes and we're about that 10-minute mark, 20-minute mark. Um, this is a random question someone asked me in a job interview, and I thought was really dumb, but I don't know. How many golf balls can you fit in on a plane? I gave a very specific number, and I felt like they were offended with the number because I had an answer. Long story short, I didn't get the job. But what does that question even mean? It's not even like a math job. I think it's just what do you want me to say? Like, let me go and get my coworker so we each can count how many balls fits on a plane. The thing I don't understand about interviews, and I recommend you go on interviews regularly or as your schedule permits you to, especially if you have days off in a week. What I don't understand about this is everyone ultimately has a problem with their job, more or less. There's nothing wrong with that. But why do people want you to pretend like this is going to be the last job you ever had for the rest of your life? Hire me, see how I perform. I applied. If I meet the qualifications on paper, you know, we will we go through the process. I work. You say, okay, I like how you work here. I like your performance. Do you want to stay on the job? Yes. And even with jobs, I think after a while they should do like how comfortable you with the job? Do you enjoy this job? What are things that we can change? But some companies don't even like like any type of critiquing of their performance. They could critique your performance, but you can't critique their performance. I think the management sucks. I think that everyone here are annoying. You can't say stuff like that because everyone gets in their feelings. They don't really want to know how you feel, which kind of shows you how superficial this whole job process is. Like, oh, I don't think that you give good directions. I don't think that you're performing as a manager should perform. Oh no, but they could tell you about everything. Now this never happened to me, but I'm just saying, like, I've had performance reviews, but they never had a reciprocating, like, as your manager, how am I performing? I'm like, terrible. You lack communication, you lack people skills, you do not know my job, you do not know your job well enough to coach me on my job and give examples, of course, don't just be me, and then keep it moving. We don't get that anymore. I don't think we ever got that, and I don't even see it. I don't even think that's going to happen because more people seem to be getting silenced as the days go. That was the last thing that was on my mind that I wanted to share with you guys, or at least that I wrote down. So I'm going to do a little verses, and I don't remember where I left off at because I didn't cross anything out. So it was real simple, and I think I did Office Max or Staples versus Staples. Which one? You got to pick one of what I said, nothing random. Home Depot or Lowe's, Dick's or Sports Authority, Academy, Dunham Sports. You can comment down below. You ain't got to do nothing right now. Take your time. Speedway or Racetrack, bowling versus golf, candy versus fruit, supermarket versus the farmer's market, pants like dress pants versus shorts, bus versus the train, sedan versus coupe, water versus juice, plane versus train, road trip versus a red eye like an overnight flight, sneakers versus dress shoes, Gatorade versus water. I said water twice, but it's comparable. The last one is uniform versus casual. You know, answer that. Get your stuff together. Be more direct. You know what you want. If you don't like either, you ain't got to say anything. But it's good to know your options and to pick them. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hit that like, hit that sub, comment down below. Do what you need to do. Keep this channel alive. Or not. It doesn't really matter. One.